welcome back to another fabulous video of my channel. I'm Jacob from Jacob's here, and today we are looking at the Goodreads Choice Awards for 2022. I will also be picking two categories, maybe just one category in here, to do a whole video dedicated to in the month of December. So let's go ahead and take a look at what they are. So obviously our main categories, it also does talk about how the opening round starts today. The final round starts November 29th to December 4th, and the winners are announced December 8th. My video will probably go up later than that, reading all of them, but don't you worry, we'll pick a category or two categories, and then I'm just going to pick my generalistic ones that I know I will probably vote into. So we'll go ahead and pull out fiction, mystery thriller, romance, horror, graphic novels, and comic book, young adult fantasy, young adult fiction, debut, poetry, and I'm even gonna say, let's look at the middle grade and children's this year. Normally I wouldn't. And that leaves historical fiction, fantasy, science fiction, humor, and non-fiction. Non-fiction has the possibility of having something in here, or memoirs and biographies too, I mean. So I guess we should probably pull that one out as well, but also I like history and biography. Those are things I just don't read, and so I probably wouldn't have any. Moving over to the best fiction category, we'll see if there's any in here that I immediately point out in my brain. Hamagari Gary's To Paradise, Butter Bajwing's The Winners, Note of Action by Danya Kwafka are three that immediately I know what they are. The Journey of a Cult, I would probably also know, and that's it. Everything else in here, I do not know. Out of the four I just mentioned, I've not read a single one. To Paradise has been on my list for almost a year now. It's just so long, and the little life to me such a deep, dark depression last year. I just was like, nah, not today, just sir. So, moving on. Mystery and Thriller should do much better. So we have The Paris Apartment by Lucy Fowley, The Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James, The Golden Couple by Gear Hendricks and Sarah Peckin, The Housemaid by Frederick McDaffin. I know at least two of those in that first row. The Bullet That Missed, never heard of Richard Osman. The Night Shift I definitely have by Alex Finney. Wrong Place, Wrong Time by Gillian McCoster. The Overnight Guest by Heather Guaf. I have heard of The Overnight Guest and The Night Shift. All Cut People Here by Ashley Flowers. More Than You Ever Known by Katie Ruth Ware. The It Girl. The Things We Do in the Dark. I've heard at least two of those in that row as well, which is pretty good. Another Alice Finney with Daisy Darker. That's Alex Finley. Wrong name. The Family Game by Catherine Solman. Killers of a Certain Age by Diane Byrne. Jackal, also have heard of. I also have heard of these two. The Family Remains by Lisa Joel. The Violin Conspiracy by Brandon Sercom. A Flicker in the Dark. Ironically, I've not read a single one from this category. Normally I've read like 3 or 4 from the category. I have heard of 90% of what's here. So that's good. I skipped fantasy, didn't I? I'm not going to know anything except the occasional... Oh my god! Okay, so I'll be voting for Anita One Bone. Oh, a Babel should win though, right? Okay, so I do know things here, but like, we're not going to stay. Alright, Romance. Dating Dr. Dill. Reminders of Him by Colleen Hoover. Wedding Crashers by Mia Soso. Twisted Hate by Anna Hung. The Electric Idol by Katie Robert. This has actually been on my list. Or the first one, if that's exactly what I'm thinking of. It might not be. Things We Never Got Over. Lucy Score, The American Roommate Experiment, Terms and Conditions, The Kiss Curse, Part of Your World, which I started and never finished. It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover, Every Summer After. I really don't think people should get 2 places. There's no more vote-ins. I just don't think it should be a thing. Funny You Should Ask, Hook, Like, and Sinker, another one that I've also tried and didn't finish. Love on Your Brain by Allie Hazelwood, You Made a Fool of Death with Your Beauty. That sounds beautiful. Catherine Carter, The Bodyguard, Thank You for Listening, Julia Whaleman. See, I knew she had written it. Delilah Doesn't Care by Ashley Hearing Blake. It's also another name I want to say. And this one is on my list probably because it's gay. It's overwhelmingly straight based on the covers, I will say, in this category. And Colleen Hoover should have only been once because her writing sucks. Hot take. Horror. I actually don't think I've read many from here. that's fine. Starting from the top of it. I do probably want to do the horror category. I always like doing the horror category. But we'll see how much time I have. Sometimes I'll do the smaller ones like poetry and graphic novels and call it a day. The Children on the Hill by Jennifer McCon. Hidden Pictures by Jason Mercola. Manhunt, which I have read by Gretchen Feller Martin. The Favor by Alma Katsu. Really? Ooh. The Violence by Dwyer S. Dawson. Gallows Hill by Darcy Coates. Our Wives Under the Sea by Julia Armfield. Sundial. White Horse. We Spread by Ian Reid. Ian Reid's another one. Have I read an Ian Reid? Somehow my brain just always thought that Ian Reid only had I'm Thinking of Ending Things, and I never looked past that book. Okay. Stephen King and Richard Childers. Gwendolyn's Final Task. Just Like Mother. The Devil Takes You Home. House of Hunger. Jupiter Thorn. Small Angels. The Hacienda. The Cherry Roberts. What Moves in the Dead. And Such Sharp Teeth. I'm happy the other one also got nominated for T. Kingfisher because the other one's so much better. I've read 2 out of, I don't know how many are here, 4, 1 out of 20. That's 18. It's a lot. Going over the memoirs and biographies. Okay, I read The Viodeus, Finding Me. That was amazing. Stay True, Hazu. I read Mean Baby by Selma Blair. Lost and Found by Catherine Schultz. Video by Javier Zamora. The Year of the Tiger by Alice Long. Funny Farm. A Token Black Girl. I'm Glad My Mom Died. I read that. A Bomb Shelter by Mary Laura. Easy Beauty. What My Bones Know. In Love by Amy Bloom. Can't believe they put the Matthew Perry one on here. Just saying. Uncultured. Yep, Matthew Perry. Looked on the 10th. A Second Chance at Life. Madly Deeply. The Diaries of Alan Rickman. Oh. The Man Who Could Move Clouds. See Me Lulu, We Were Dreamers. And Crying in the Bathroom. It's hard to vote for a memoir because there are personal stories based on people's lives. I'm going to have to probably go with Jen McCurdy's or Viola Davis's. They were transformative. I like some of Blair's, but I didn't love it as much as I loved those. Moving on to graphic novels and novellas. We have Oddball, Wash Day Diaries, Heartstopper. It Won't Always Be Like This. This looks gorgeous. The Many Deaths of Lila Stare, Demon in the Woods, Everything Is Okay, Chef's Kiss, Saga, Volume 10. My baby's back. Squire Crumbs, Welcome to St. Hell, Thieves, Fangirl, Volume 2. I didn't realize the second one came out. Ducks, Messy Robots. Yeah, Killing Stalking. Okay, that's what it is. Career in Books. Laura and Bliss. I don't want to read the second part. I didn't like the first part. I do FRU. I will probably wouldn't mind reading all of these for sure. They all look very interesting to me as they always do. Moving on to poetry, another category that's very high on the list. The problem with graphic novels and comics and poetry trying to get them is that sometimes I can't find the books. Alive at the End of the World. Definitely have intrigued. The Hurting Kind. Oh my gosh, you're not on my list, but now you are. Poetry Perspective. The Shift. The cover's pretty, but titled All the Flowers Kneeling. That sounds like something I could probably get into. And Yet by Kate Bear. Galaxy Axe. Oh my gosh, yes please. Serenity Poems. Normal Distance. By the way, I've not read a single one yet. Minuscule Tables by Billy Combs. The Time as a Mother. I have read by Ocean Young. I read that twice. I went from a 5-star to a 4-star. One of my favorite books of the year too. It's okay. So don't reread your favorite things, I guess. Women Without Shame. I thought that was not interesting. Call Us With Carrie. Blessed by the Daughter, Raised by a Voice in Her Head. The Sun Is Swallowing. Girls That Never Die. Walking Gently. Aww. The World Keeps Falling and the World Goes On. Unlock Your... Amanda Lovelace says on that one. Unlock Your Storybook Heart. Good poems. And Leaving in the Shadow of the Scarlet Life. 50 poems for 50 years. Alright, moving down to debut novel. Debut novel normally is like a more of a open round here. So the Haciendas, Jackal, All the Good People. So Black Cave is new. Hierarchy, which looks beautiful. Boko Dies Dreaming. Lessons in Chemistry. I've heard of Pencilfoot, which I also have heard of. Remarking Bright Creatures, Daughter and the Moon Goddess. I thought that was older. Not gonna lie to you. The Maid, The Measure, Memphis, Cleopatra and Frankenstein. Our Wives Under the Sea. How High We Go in the Dark. A Flicker in the Dark, Every Summer After, The Violin Conspiracy, and Night Crawling. I might do Best Debut because I feel like it's a pretty good basing of everything going on in every category. That way we can get like a little bit of taste. So that's a high possibility. Like I said, I'll go back and I'll try to see if I can't find the books and then go from there. The Best Young Adult Fiction. All My Rage by Sabbath to Hear, Nothing More to Tell by Karen M. Nigas. Did not like her writing either. It was early on though. A Show for Two by Tisha Burnham. Here's what that is. Family of Liars. You know what? If you're curious, go ahead and mark it, right? I did read Family of Liars. I did read The Weight of Blood. See, I just don't think that's fair. You'll Be the Death of Me. I think this one's part of a series and that one's a standalone, but I don't care. I don't think it's fair. It's not even part of a series. I Kissed Cheryl Lear. Thank God. Case McQuestion. The Lesbianas. Guide to Catholic Schools. Okay, that's a read. The First to Die at the End. I actually don't know if I want to read the prequel, to be honest with you, but I'll put it on my list. Ophelia After All. I Must Betray You. Oh, nope. Just realized what that is. I Fell in Love with Hope. Okay. My Mechanical Romance. The Love List by Alice Oseman. See You Yesterday. As Long as the Lemon Grows Trees. She Gets the Girl. Hell Follows With Us. I would not have put that here. I'm just saying, but I'm happy it's here. The Final Gambit. Anatomy of Love Story. Yeah, I don't know. There's ones in here that I definitely could see myself picking up, but like not enough to be like, oh my god, we need to jump into that immediately. Alright, Best Young Adult Fantasy and Science Fiction. We have Satanic, which is the third book in a series. The Blade of Never After, which I also think is the third book in the second book in a series. Gallant, which I have read, If You Could See the Sun, which I think was not. Now it is, don't you worry. Go Ahead Breath Sun, The Ever Afters. It's also been on my list for a while now. Cursed by Marissa Meyer? Oh, I didn't read Gilded. Okay. Blood Marked, I also didn't read the first one. Sunbury Trials was supposed to be on my list this year. I did read All That's Left in This World and loved it. The Dragon Promise, The Twisted Bounds, Kingdom of Feared, Hello, Magnificent, Only a Monster, Violets Made of Thorns, The Wolven Kingdom. Okay, there is Valley's Fortune, A Magic Stepson and Poison, and Belinda. I've heard of most of these. Most of these are sequels though, and I'm not about to jump into the game of sequels. Small Town Pride, I will be reading that. Oh, I already want to, okay. Sometimes you just wish you could just like move it up the list. That's how I feel sometimes. This is not enough. It also sounds very cute. I'll put it on my list. I Am Quiet. I will also put that on my list. Ravenfall. Are you sure? Okay. The Girl in the White. Keeper of the Lost Cities. They're still making this? Did not know. The Marveliers. A Mirror in the Great Cave is a great game. Okay, that's number 2. The Orange is the Orphan. I don't know what this one is. Okay, it's Zachary Yang and the Dragon Emperor. Witchling. New from Here. I think I read a Kelly Yang just recently, and I really liked the writing. Let me see if it's the right one. Yeah, Front Desk. I read her first book in a main series. It was promoted, I think, through Goodreads, to be honest with you. The Elephant Girl. I Am Able to Shine. How to Heal Elephant. The Pennymoors. Rise of the School of Good and Evil. It's the prequel, guys. It's the prequel. Okay. Essentially, what I have here is a lot of books that I am curious about, but I wouldn't make a whole video reading middle grade. I'm just going to be honest with you. So, our top contenders here are debut novels, poetry, graphic novels, and comics, and then we also have horror. I don't think there's enough mystery horror in there that I actually want to read. Horror, I'll jump through and I'll play around with for sure. So, I'd say horror, graphic novels, poetry, or debut. Because debut has a little bit of mixture of everything. I like a good poetry. I love a good graphic. And yeah, that's where I'm at. There will be a whole video dedicated to it where we go through each title and I read them and then, we do the whole thing. It'll go out sometime in December if I decide to do it. But I did at least want to put my reaction to it. And I won't vote in those categories, but I'll go through and I'll vote in the categories I have titles that I liked it. Alright. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, please give me a thumbs up. I know it was a little weirder because we have my desk set up, but that is what today's video is about. And I'll talk to you guys all very next time.